The Royal Rumble is this Sunday, and there's so many outcomes, I don't even know!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode with my pal Alex and Feisty Pants.
So, the Royal Rumble is this Sunday at the Alamo Dome in Texas, and I don't know who's going to win. There's so many ways they could go. Here's a list of confirmed people that are in the Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar, right? Goldberg, Baron Strowman, Braun Strowman. What did somebody else called him something? Brand Strowman or something like that. It was pretty funny. Chris Jericho. Oh yeah, was it Goldberg? Or no, it wasn't Goldberg. It was Paul Heyman. Called him like Brand Strowman or Braun Strowman. I don't know. Anyway, Strowman, Chris Jericho, The Undertaker, Dean Ambrose, The Miz, Baron Corbin, The New Day. All three members. Cesaro, Sheamus, Big Cass, Handsome Rusev, Big Show, Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt, Luke Harper. Not Luke Harper. It's Luke Harper, not Luke Harper. Sami Zayn beat out Seth Rollins for a spot in the Royal Rumble, so Seth Rollins is not going to be in it. And Mojo Rawley wins the big Battle Royal, the little Battle Royal on SmackDown. So now, what is Seth Rollins going to do? Well, NXT is this Saturday. I feel, because the Triple H music came on and that distracted the architect, or like that would ever really happen. So he gets the loss. So I think he's going to go seek out Triple H at NXT, start a feud, and maybe there's not a match at the Royal Rumble, but there's definitely some kind of retaliation at the Royal Rumble, building their known match at Mania, because they got to build the story somewhere. It all starts somewhere. So that's what I think they're going to do with Seth Rollins. I thought maybe they might let him win the Royal Rumble, and then Roman Reigns wins, and then it's like a Seth Rollins Roman Reigns at Mania. Wouldn't be the end of the world, but that's not going to happen now. So the kickoff show is 2 hours, and they only have 2 matches announced: Sasha Banks versus Nia Jax. That's not going to be that long of a match, because it's Nia Jax, and she's either gonna squash Sasha or she's gonna pass out, from running around that much. I have to go with Sasha Banks because faces. Sheamus and Cesaro are defending their tag titles against Anderson and Gallows on the kickoff show, and then they're pulling double duty and they're going to be in the Royal Rumble. Gallows and Anderson, they've had a number of matches against Sheamus and Cesaro, and, in every scenario, Sheamus and Cesaro keep coming up out on top. In all the singles matches, Gallows and Anderson have been winning, except for the one where Sheamus beat... Did he win that? Or did he win... Oh, no, he got disqualified for punching... Well, anyway, I think we could have a title change hands here. I mean, it would suck to do it on the kickoff show, and because it's on the kickoff show, I would have to say no. Sheamus and Cesaro are going to defend because it's on the kickoff show. But I mean, if they're going to make you watch the kickoff show, they might have the title change hands. It's quite a possibility. It's the Royal Rumble. Anything could happen. Notes. But then that's the only matches that are announced so far. Now, granted, I'm filming this Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning, when the sun is shining, where, just yesterday it was a cloudy, rainy mess, like the world was going to end. And my sinuses are clear, and I don't have a pounding headache anymore. It's great. I love it. We're supposed to have good weather all through the weekend, so I might actually take the boy down to Ocean City, New Jersey, not Maryland, for some Pokemon Go and catch some Lapras. Lapras is down there. So there's only the 2 matches on the 2-hour kickoff show. You can't possibly have Renee Young talk for that long. I don't care how gorgeous she is. So being SmackDown has a number of titles and people not defending anything, maybe American Alpha defends their tag titles. Maybe, last minute. And I would have to say, if they do, they retain it. Let's get to the main card. Charlotte versus Bayley for the women's title, Raw women's title. I have to pick Charlotte here because the feud needs to continue. I don't think they would just hand it right over to Bayley, even though they seem to go back and forth between Charlotte and Sasha Banks all the time. I think they're going to stay away from that, and I think they're going to go Charlotte retains, and they may work in the return of Paige, friggin' hopefully, or, just the finally friggin' debut of Emelina, because that's only been going on for like a year. Right? I mean, it's been a couple of months, hasn't it? Friggin' finally. I mean, what the hell else are they saving her for? SummerSlam? Because she's been in modeling bikinis? That would be a year away. Oh my god, I don't know. So, you figure the feud has to go somewhere. And if this is the time where they start bringing up talent from the main roster, I would like to see who wins and loses at NXT on Saturday, because that could play an important part in people like Samoa Joe, who's rumored heavily to be coming up to the main roster somewhere in the Royal Rumble. So maybe they have him interfere in the John Cena match versus AJ Styles, because that could go either way. Like, I could see Styles retaining only to defend against the next big thing, which would be Samoa Joe, no pun intended, or Cena wins, ties Ric Flair, and then he faces Undertaker at Mania, who might win the Royal Rumble, because that would make a lot of sense. Oh, yeah, right. Oh, but then they're saying that they have something bigger and better for each of them, both John Cena and both Undertaker. Even though a John Cena-Undertaker match would be like the greatest thing at Mania, they're saying they have something better. I would like to see that, because it might just be sliced bread. Rich Swann and Neville for the Cruiserweight title. Neville needs to destroy this guy, and he needs to become like the Brock Lesnar of the Cruiserweight division. And if it doesn't happen, then Neville's just a joke. He's just a bigger, muscular joke of himself. So he needs to crush Mr. Swann there. Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. No disqualification with Chris Jericho in the shark cage hanging above. Now, this screams interference, because that's what Jericho does. He manages to interfere no matter what. And that would somehow give, depending upon how he interferes, because he's hanging above the cage, unless he gets the cage open, like somebody gets the keys and he throws them up to, Kevin Owens throws the keys up to Chris Jericho. Hopefully they get it on the first try, because I can't sit there like, whoa, I threw it 6 times and you still haven't caught it. Like, come on. So, then he hops down. Maybe the cage, lowers so he doesn't fall to his death. Oh my god. That would be terrible. This hanging above the cage, this is just a bad idea. Everybody knows what I'm thinking. I know y'all know. This is just awful. But here's what I think. I think Roman Reigns is going to still win despite any kind of interference, and that will start the feud between Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho, and they will fight for Jericho's title. Because what could happen would, the other way it could go would be Kevin Owens retains, Jericho wins the Royal Rumble, and that's where the feud starts, because that's where they have to fight each other at Mania. But I don't think that would be very... I don't think that would be very like, oh my god, it's Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens. I mean, they're hysterical, but they're not the greatest, biggest thing. So I think that's going to be like a side story with Roman Reigns going to Mania with the title to face who the hell knows. He could face Brock Lesnar. I mean, that wouldn't be bad, like a Brock Lesnar Roman Reigns rematch from the last WrestleMania where they fought. Brock Lesnar's a big dude. He could win the Royal Rumble. It could happen. So is Goldberg. But I think Brock Lesnar and Goldberg are already slated to face each other at Mania. So you're not really going to see either of them win. It's going to be somebody else. It could be Big Cass. I'm just saying. It's not going to be Handsome Rusev, because Roman Reigns has already beat the crap out of Rusev a number of times. So that's not going to happen. We could see somebody like from SmackDown win it and go to Raw, like Baron Corbin, face Roman Reigns. That wouldn't be bad, but I don't think they're going to break up the rosters just yet. I think they're going to wait for at least the 1-year mark before they redraft. So I think Roman Reigns is winning that, and we'll see who wins the 30-man Battle Royal. Now, one other match, which, they're like, okay, we need a match where everybody can get up and go to the bathroom. Usually it's the Dolph Ziggler match, for me. I mean, I love Dolph Ziggler, don't get me wrong, but I mean, his matches are pretty predictable, depending upon who he's facing. So it's the women's match from SmackDown. They're, They're like, oh, let's get the women all in the same match. And I'm like, no, these are legitimate feuds that should be fought on their own. So they have a 6-lady tag. It's Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Naomi versus Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya. You could say faces would win, because they're faces. And then Mickie turns on Alexa, blaming her for the loss, and then they face each other at Mania. Or heels could win, because they're bitches. It doesn't matter. The match just doesn't matter. They're not bitches. I love them all. And it's just this is the pointless match of the night. There's always a pointless match of the night on every card so that people can do what they got to do. And I feel this is it. And I feel it's a derogatory, kick in the balls if the women had balls to say, we're just going to group the 6 of you together, have fun, while everybody gets up and goes to the shitter. Yeah. So, let's talk about who else could show up. I got over here, I got 2 pages of notes. This is out of control here. So we could, usually, they have, like, people show up, like Santino would show up for the Royal Rumble every year, and then he would disappear, and so we know the Big Show's going to be in it, right? Samoa Joe, huge rumor. The rumor is so huge that it could be, you got to tie a belt with a boomerang. Like, it's that big. Like, the rumor could just come to life that Samoa Joe is going to be there. Finn Balor has been rehabbing, and no one has said anything about how well it's going. You would expect him, based on his injury, to be ready for Mania. What if he plays, like, a small role at the Royal Rumble, and, I'm in the Rumble, but, I easily get, eliminated, or maybe I'm making my way down to the ring in my fancy entrance with the music and the smoke, and the next guy, because it takes so long, takes me out, and I never make it into the match. Then he doesn't have to risk further injury, and he could just lay low for, the next 2 months until Mania hits. And then at least Finn Balor has made a presence. There's big rumors about the Hardy Boys coming back, Jeff and Matt Hardy. I'm all for it, provided they drop their fucking drama. I don't want their soap opera bullshit. I want them to wrestle. And, of course, Triple H. If somehow Triple H needs to make a presence with Seth Rollins and, get their story going for Mania. Because the clock is ticking. All right, that's all I got. I would love to hear everything that you guys want to know, what you think. Leave it in the comments below, and we could talk and all sorts of other stuff, and life will be great.